Hey guys, and welcome to our laboratory, let's say, because today we're gonna work on more drops. Just for the context of those who just joined or are watching this stuff, we have special mode in game on all my streams, with friends, that allow users to actually spawn some drops for us. For now, we have only 4 of those, and that's a plain help. It looks like that, like some kind of futuristic container. It has basically, except for apart from this beacon, sound block to make it easier to find, it has only some cargo container, which actually filled in most cases with resources. And yeah, that's the whole idea, that you can spawn it. If you want to spawn help, it will be filled with resources and it will help us somehow. The next variation is finding help. It has not only container, but also this gyroscope. And in this case, sensor is actually do something, because in that case, sensor is just sensor. It's here for uniform look. Why we need uniform look, I'm gonna explain in a minute when we finish with all these blocks. So, what's the logic of this one is that it's basically just a cargo container again with resources, with some reward, and when character gets closer, this guy starts spinning, making it not too easy to grind it down. It's like fine, it's like still help, it's still helpful for us, but it's a funny one. Now we have 2 hinder drops. First of which is funny hinder. It's mostly harmless, and it's real fun to see what's going on. So it has this Gatling gun here in place. It has the same sensor, and it has gyro. No containers in this case, because that's a hinder. It's not designed to help us. It's designed to provide us with some variety of feelings. So, what does this container do? Again, when character gets closer, this sensor sees it, and it turns on this guy, which... Let me show you how it's set up. Wait a second. It should be all overrides on, or not all, but some, and Gatling gun goes on. Where is our sensor? Here it is. What it does? Yeah, it actually override controls. It actually triggers this timer block 3, which in its order does. Yeah, it just increases a lot of the speech override and your override, and that gives us spinning motion with Gatling gun firing. Pretty funny one, but mostly harmless. Now the last one, explosive hinder. Well, yeah, it explodes, and it explodes immediately as a character gets closer to it, which's harmless. Which's dangerous, absolutely, and all of us died at least once from one of these. But again, they are kinda easy to defuse, because all the stuff you need to do is to just destroy that stuff, and that it's all right. Let me actually probably demonstrate you how all of those work. So let's start from finding help. We can drop it somewhere right here. Here we go. And all the stuff we need to do now is to turn on our fuse. So let's imagine that we are in a playthrough, we are going closer to actually grind it down, and here we go. Yep, it starts spinning all the way, making it a lot more interesting to actually grind down. Two ways to counteract. First one is we can simply grind down this guy, providing it with, yeah, with fairly steady stuff. And also we can just, come on, not that close, I get you. We can just damage the sensor, which effectively also turns it off. After that, yeah, we can grind it, get all resources and stuff like this. Now, funny Hinder. Funny Hinder designed to do the following. Let me turn on our fuse. And now when character gets closer, yep, something like that effect happens. Again, you can grind this guy, you can grind the... does it shot my base? Nah, whatever. You can just shot this fuse and diffuse it this way, wherever you like. For the last one, it's not that fun, and it's not that easy, especially for in the middle of playthrough when your mind occupied with something else, because yeah, that's exactly what happens when you get closer, and the only way to counteract, that's a parachute cave. All right, the only way to counteract is basically shut down this fuse. Now, why actually? Oopsie daisy. That wasn't my plan. Stay like you were. All right. Why are they in this shape, and all of them have fuses sensors, even if it's not in use? To make it harder to visually define which drop is that, because the players shouldn't see what actually drop, what kind of drop provided by chat, and yeah, that makes all the fun. Now, these four are fine, and those are works for half a year already, and that's fun, that's okay. The problem is that it's not enough already, and I want to build a variety of this kind of this sort of things to actually provide us with more variety. For today's stream, obviously commands are not working, but what should work is our standard chat. It should be translated into the game, and that should be it. Alright, let's actually replace this block with I almost sure that I had it somewhere like there. Yep, and I need a nice color like that, and of course we need, yeah, this is a creative work, obviously. I'm not gonna bother and waste time with collecting resources and building stuff like that. That's not interesting. Also, I wanna think about mechanics first and wrap it with some shape later on, because that will help us define the shape size. So for the help container, this one I gonna shape later on as some sort of futuristic container, that stuff that some cargo ship might miss or something like that. I wanna firstly put at least this size container in. It would be nice. Maybe even 2. Nah, it's gonna be too nice to have 2 there. Also, yeah, let's go with just one container. The second one, though, I wanna use design a little bit different. And in this case, instead of having just a container with resources, I think we might have something like components. Blocks with some valuable components in them. For example, this iron thruster. Something like that, and maybe just to make it a bit more interesting, we can also add our atmosphere thrusters. Yeah, we can also add few of those new ones, beautiful ones, of course. Nevertheless, like that. Good. So this one is 3 height, and this one is 3 height also. Magnificent. That's what we are looking here. All right. Obviously, we might grind this down a little bit. We might grind one of those a little bit, just to make it less filled with resources, less jammed with resources. Now, for finding containers, it become a lot more interesting, because we need to think about mechanic, how it shall work. For the first one, I think we can, for example, actually, let's rename one of those. So that's gonna be help container. This one gonna be blocks container, let's say. Key. That one we rename after all. And I think that it might be this type of container that actually just activates a huge thruster in it when you get closer. And basically start flying in one direction. That would be not easy to grind down at all. And yeah, that's a fun one. Key. I'm gonna call it dodgy container. Something like that. The next one, we need some other mechanic. Guys in chat, if you have something in mind, please don't hesitate, let me know. I'd like to see more ideas for all that stuff. Alrighty. We're gonna go like this, and what else might be fine? Food. I'm not quite got what you mean saying food. Yeah. My bloody goodness, sorry, I'm still sick. If you mean food as a resource, that's completely another stage, because if you take a look here, it's actually called as a small cargo container reward, and my script, which is, and of course mod that shall translate Chat enter the game doesn't work. Why should it? Indeed. Okie dokie. Let me take a look. Where it might fail and why it might fail. Yeah, I see where and why it might fail. Should be better now. Okay, and yeah, exactly like that. Filling those containers with content is completely another story, which will be done by me offline. But what we... Nah, we cannot do that. We cannot do that. Because all our food blocks are large grid only, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Food processor, yep, large grid only. Algae farm, yep, large grid only. And basically all of them large grid only. And also, they're fucking huge, all of them. So, yep, that's not gonna be easy to put any food in. I mean, food-related blocks, at least. Okie-dokie. What can we do with that? We might put in something useless, or even more interesting one might be a turret that pops up and actually starts shooting all around. For this we shall know exactly the size of everything. But actually we can implement it just in a way for now, like this guy, then rotor, and I don't know, actually we can just do something like this, I believe. Nope, not something like this, but probably something like that. And now we can just put one of those in. Not rocket guns, obviously. Let's go with a funny, nice warfare Gatling gun. Yeah, that shall do the trick for us. So, the idea here. Firstly, why I have that bloody winget on my... What the heck going on here? Oh. Why are you like that? Okay, that's better. That's better. Something weird with shaders on my end. Okay, it's... In which direction it will go? Wait a second, that's not the stuff. So that's positive, which means on positive we should be going to 0, and negative. Let's say we're gonna go full, I don't know, 20 or even 30. That, and if we do reverse, like this. Not gonna work, is it? All right, we can do about think about mechanics later, because it should pop up and start shooting all directions, basically turning with this guy. Yeah, I shall think about that when we know the shape of a final container. For this Hinder one, I think we can go in a different way. And let's say and go in a different way. Oops, that's not the head I was about to add. This one is okay, like this. Now, the mechanic for this stuff, I think I also gonna go with warhead. Yeah, but in this case, I'm gonna add a few explosive barrels on both ends of this guy. To do that, we need something like this. And it will work differently in a way that when it gets closer as a character, it's not gonna explode immediately, but it's gonna make a scary sound and start countdown. Where the logic here is that you're not gonna die immediately, but if it end up being on a roof of one of vehicles, that will, that will do something interesting. Okay, the thing is that this guy is actually armed and exploded immediately, and for that one, we're gonna just start countdown, and then it will explode. The thing is that I'm not about to stop this countdown when the character gets farther from it, and also these two explosive barrels shall make explosive itself a lot more interesting. Let's turn it this way. Okay, now, when we pretty much know all the shapes here, we can start with the outer shell for this type of drops. So let's add, for sake, of course, small head, and then these blocks gonna be ground down later on. So how the container, some sort of futuristic container might look like. Obviously, I'm not gonna make it huge because, yeah, that's a drop, and we don't want to provide too much resources to the players. But okay, I do think that 4 block this way and 4 blocks that way should be enough. It should be more than enough for us. Now for its size here, all of them are kind of limited in 3. Sorry. So having 4, not 4, 5. We need 5 if we don't wanna touch in sides. No, I do think that 3 should be enough. So if we go like that and like this, that's basically our base shape. That is our base shape here. Okay, now for the bottom, I think I'm gonna go with these blocks. Firstly, like that and like this, because top will be filled with much more interesting stuff. Okie dokie. Now, we need to put a little bit of those. So, that. This. Easy. this and this. Okay, and the middle, obviously, just a standard blocks like that. All right. Now. About its height. It should be at least 3 blocks tall. So it shall be like that, which might be okay container, you know? Yeah, it might be okay. And of course I want to save all these 3 blocks inside because we're gonna need them. And yeah, sure. For now, for these guys, we should go, come on, something like that. Then, yeah, as you see, I'm trying to build outside to save as much space inside as possible. Okie dokie. Now, before we cut it loose and start filling with resources, I do think, I mean, with content, I do think that we need something like everything functional here. And nah, it isn't possible to do like that. All right. Well, so too bad, so sad, but we shall finish it first. Let's finish it like that, like this. In this case, of course, this type of drops containers gonna be all gonna be looking like that container, but with some variety in it, with some nice variety in it. Okay, for these guys, we're gonna go probably. I don't know. No, we're gonna go with the standard blocks, and I think we're gonna go like that first, because then we obviously need our parachute hatches. And we're gonna put them like this, that it's gonna be easier to fill them. Also, we're gonna need one of those. Obviously, later on, we're gonna need some battery, sort of, or timers to make it sound and everything else, but it will highly depend on the drop itself, so we'll see. Battery might be somewhere there, but it depends on the content. So, all right, let's leave it like that for now. For these sides, I think we might add something interesting. Maybe of sort. Yeah, sort of like that. It's actually not the way. That's the way I like to see it. And we can do also something like that on the opposite side. It will just look better on the finalized box. For these sides, I'm gonna go and do something different, because we're gonna grind these blocks to some particular shapes. For example, one of those might be like that, second one might be like this, and so on and so forth. And then we're gonna paint them differently. Basically, I wanna paint it first, and then I want to paint it first and then do something with it, with block states. Okay, let's actually finish with these guys. Those are to open, not the blocks we're looking for. What else can we use? What else can we use? So actually, we can go just like that. Why not? Should be more or less okay-ish. Okay, let's call this shape. Let's call this shape done. So now it shall be easy to do something like that, and of course it starts rolling, but that doesn't matter in this case, because we're gonna do something like that, and put one of those again, add small head, and now we can just, no, not just, we need to put a few blocks first, basically like that. And now we can just grab it, not for that side, for this side. We can just grab it and put there in some direction like this. Here we go. Now we're gonna open one of the sides and fill it with content. Let's do it here, why not? Hey, this guy, get in. Good. Now, what do we need here also? We might wanna fill it with something, or we might wanna just put a battery inside, not that stuff, battery. Here we go, batteries in, and now, how this block should behave. How this block should behave. I think a block like this might, if it's let's think about story. If this block was the part of some cargo ship, some hauler cargo, and was missed, it will do its best to be found. So what we might expect seeing there is some kind of lights, firstly. Oopsie daisy. Lights. We need these ones, I think. And it's impossible to put them there, but it's possible to put them here. So yeah, we might go something like that. Basically on all the sides. And it's there. And we might make them blinky or something like that to make it more noticeable. Any weather, at any other conditions. Key. What this stuff shall look like also. I'm not gonna cover it yet. Because we might need to put something inside. What about a drop for every hour, and it's a medium cargo? Drop for every hour. You mean a drop with a cooldown of 1 hour and the medium cargo in? That will require additional command, and you know, wait, this is a medium cargo. You meant some bigger, even bigger cargo? The thing is that I do wanna kind of keep these drops mostly as a fun element than something that we really can rely on to move further, because that's the whole idea. It's a fun element, and I don't wanna take it into account, this element of drops, for every playthrough. It's like with this triple threat survival, when initially I never thought that we're gonna have this problem with magnesium, and then when we find out that when you drop a hinder with this guy or explosives, it's actually incredibly useful for us, because we need those components, we need explosives. That was a nice surprise, and I wanna kinda left it as is. So making some special command which drops a huge drop is kinda out of this idea, and it's mostly, the idea here is mostly like make it a little bit more various for these blocks, that because these four are well known already by everybody in our team, everybody of our viewers. So yeah, in this case I'm trying to add some variety. Just that, not to rethink that completely. We might go into this stage, and we might actually I might actually even agree to have a separate command for X, because our next type of drop, when we design all those ones, of course, finalize all those ones. Oh shit, of course you're gonna do that to me, don't you, bloody game. We're gonna think and design some Rex, and Rex might be a separate command. It's still a drop. It's still gonna be initialized by viewers, but it will be. It might be something different. Okay. Let's finish with this one. So it's definitely gonna be like that. What else might be fairly interesting here? I can actually close this stuff because we don't need it. The only thing I shall do is rename that cargo container to reward. Here we go. Great. Now, in case of these containers, I'm gonna hide this guy inside, so it's gonna be not that easy to diffuse. But I'm gonna color them differently. That will help identify the type of block kind of from outside. It's obvious that container like this, blinking with a lot of lights, gonna be easy to identify at all. Anyway, so why should I bother? All right. Now, speaking of design for this guy, let me actually cut it loose and. Yeah, let me cut it loose, and then we'll work with it as a separate grid. I'm gonna grab it from here, put somewhere there, because somehow I believe that's gonna be easier. Well, for those lights, Let's call them beacon lights. Like that, off from the terminal. So, what it shall be? It shall be... Actually, why not yellow? I don't know. I do like that. And now what it shall do? Blink length should be... And... That's an interesting one. We can do that with timers, because what I think I want to do is to blink something like 3-4 times real fast, and then have a huge pause. So, yeah, we can do that with timers. Let's firstly... Density 4, that's all fine. Blink interval, let's say 0.5 seconds. Okay. And no, if not 0.5, we can go 0.2, for example. Yep. And now if we turn it off. So we need to turn it on for 1 second. All right, let me put some timer in. And gonna be lights timer block. It shall go 1 second, and what it shall do is turn them on off and launch itself. Like that. And now if we go trigger now, that's a little bit more than I thought it will be. How it looks from the distance. Yep. That's gonna be easy to find. The only thing that I wanna make it a bit more, maybe not 0.2 but 0.3. We get in 4 times, which not exactly the stuff I'm looking for. Okay. So we need 0.333, for example, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's too fast for the game. That's definitely too fast for the game. Yeah, I'm gonna use 2 parachutes for these guys, because they are bigger. For those racks, we might use even more than 2. But in this case, it's gonna be 2. For now, I put them closer to the center, but I might reconsider that and putting them to the sides. We're gonna go into this when we'll basically test that stuff. But before testing it, I should turn off this bloody stroboscope. Yep, that's better. And now, how are we gonna prettify this guy? I don't think that we're gonna go some crazy way, but I do think that firstly we need letters. Can just put cargo all the way here. It might be okay-ish, or can we? Nah, we probably cannot, because that's a standard, that's a hull blocks, and we need a standard ones, which is actually not a... it's gonna be car or go. Yep, let's go like that. It's gonna be car. Okay, so what the idea here is to do something like that, something like this, and just elevate this place where we're gonna put that sign. No. So I see it's not gonna fit. So we need one more of those here, and this guy gonna go there. Or should be like that, like these. All needed numbers. Yep, something like that. Now for its color, I think this one gonna be like that. Yeah, actually, why shouldn't I? Nah, red stuff. We're gonna go with for something dangerous. In this case, we'll follow this pattern, which is key. We might do something like that. That will stand out nicely. And speaking of color, why I selected blue one is because I always wanted try one interesting stuff. Do something like that. Yep. As cargo stuff, it looks for me. Of course, we gonna do something like that later on and stuff like this, making it even more standoutish, but yellow lights with blue stripes doesn't look too great, does it? Okay. Let's change our light colors and yeah, actually I'm gonna go here and see. It's like 08. Okay, I need to convert it into something else. Okay, so in RGB, this one shall be something like 8, 95, and 166. Here we go. Here we go. Should be the same color now. Good. For this stuff, how we might approach that? I think we can go with just some plates like this on the bus ends, and of course we need to color them properly. Where is my light, by the way? In this case we can see at least something. Yep, something like that. The same exact timer actually might activate or deactivate beacon. in this case, I do think that this block gonna be silent. This block gonna be silent. I'm not gonna put any sound blocks in it. Okay, dokie. So let's actually continue that pattern here. What we do need to do that is to grab this color, put a bunch of standard blocks like that, and like this, and do something like that. For these ones, I think we can just go like that. Okie dokie. In this case, I probably... Okay, I don't know yet. Let's be honest here. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with all of those. So it should be cargo. Nah. You wanna me add something annoying and then be like splitsy, yeah? Where is that bloody stuff? I want to shut it down. That's a funny stuff, but well, I'm not sure that I'm ready to be a victim, this sort of victim. Okay, so where is our R? Come on. Just start from the beginning because it's gonna be easier. Oopsie daisy. Yeah. Oh, we need our R again. All right. That's better. That's definitely better. Okay. I'm gonna grab this guy, do something like this, and I believe we can do something like that. Yep. So our cargo stuff is ready. Beacon. Let's rename it. Let's actually provide it with some meaningful name, like CRC, standing from cargo container, and some random number like that. Yeah, that would be interesting. Now let's go to that timer. Let's leave it as just a timer and do those on off. Here we go. And now if we trigger it now, too often, isn't it? It looks like it is. And in this case, what I might consider... Wait a second, didn't I turn off the bloody weather? I thought I did. Why some crap flying around? In this case, if we wanna make pause between those actions bigger, longer basically, we need to use 2 timers. But for now, I'm not gonna bother. Do I have any... of course, I don't have any parachutes on me. So let's do something like that. Come on, let's grab it. Put one of those there. Put one of these here. And now it's important to configure those parachutes. As far as I remember, they were on 200. Now let's see how it's gonna look. Drop it somewhere there. It has power, it has parachutes, it should be all right. Yep. What I wanna also check is how it gonna like look at night. Cannot say that it's too visible. When it came, it's because all our light sources are actually trying to highlight something outside of it instead of highlighting this stuff itself. I mean, it does highlight it itself, but just a little bit. Yeah, but it's gonna be easy to find, definitely. Considering it shows us something like that. Yeah. That's a good one. That will work just perfectly. And in case of these containers, if we don't need to put something inside, I mean, if all of these sensors and stuff like that gonna be inside, we don't need to put additional ones on a container just to make them look similar. And also, yeah, we decided to not bother with that. Okay, it's stopped. Now, what I wanna do is, oopsie daisy, that's not what I wanna do. What I wanna do though is to put it here, like that, because we finished with this one, and yeah, of course you're gonna launch parachutes. Okie dokie. Now it's time to work with the next one, so this shall go away. We're gonna grab that one and work with that stuff. In this case, it's basically nothing too new, let's say. Why are you trying to do some jiggly stuff? What? What's wrong with you? Oh, this stuff are... alright. Again. Let's try to put you here, maybe. Like that. Yeah, here we go. Alright. In this case, we need to put one of those in. Something like that. Yeah, why not? And a couple of these guys. Small ones, obviously. We might actually do something like that. Now, I wanna kinda make it a little bit less... Actually, you know what, it doesn't make any sense, because the most valuable stuff in this guy is thruster components. They might be converted into the silver, gold, and stuff like that. And the most useful stuff here is metal grids, which are not that rare, and therefore it makes no difference to grind them down or not. So yeah, I'm gonna just left it as is. All of them gonna be turned off. And in this case, though, we can follow the same exact manner, but if it contains some parts in it, it's probably a technical container that shall look industrial or something like that. Okay, we can do that, I believe. And also in this case, it might be a bit rusty-ish, a bit stuff like that, because it definitely shouldn't be. It definitely shouldn't be brand new as that one. By the way, that might be a good idea. To use a different texture on a main body here, because now or use a different texture here. Yeah, let's try, you know, guys, let's try something different in terms of that stuff. Okay, and how you want to do that? It should be place mode. Here we go. Place mode off. Good. Yeah, it might be something like this, and then we can add a bit more. Heavy rust is not what I'm looking for currently. I'm looking for just a standard rust for now. Where was that? What? Almost confident. Rusty. Yeah, I don't know why it's blue though. So we can go and do all the way like that. We can make these guys rusty and something like this. Actually, it's always nice to finish with something there. All right. Now for inside part. I don't want to make... actually, I do want to make this block a little bit harder to find. So it might have only beacon. And for that beacon, it probably might just show for a couple of seconds, you know. So we're gonna need 2 of those. We're gonna need a battery. Like that. And for that beacon, we're gonna call it, I don't know, let's say, okay, firstly, I'm gonna limit it to 5,000 meters. And this one might be a supply crate or supply container with, again, some weird number at the end. And now let's configure those guys. So the first one should have delay of, let's say, 20 seconds. Oopsie daisy. And what it shall do, it shall turn this guy on and launch the second one. Now, the second one will have delay only 5 seconds. And it's gonna turn this guy off and launch the first one. So if I'm gonna trigger it now, okay. Who are you? Automation. Aha, here we go. So it actually turns on for 5 seconds and then goes off for 20 seconds. Which Yeah, that's a fairly long distance. Fairly long period between turning on, but that's good. That's good. These containers shouldn't be easy to find. Okay, and now what we gonna do also is to obviously cover everything like that and that. And in this case, I don't think that we gonna use some colors or stuff like that. The only thing I wanna use is, where was that? We need these guys to put here. It's not gonna be put there. Okay, well, can I? No, but I can do something like that. I see. All right. So what we can do, because I wanna have the same stripes, I mean similar stripes, we're gonna go like that, and now like this. Why I wanna have those stripes is because obviously I wanna paint them, and for these guys we can go yellowish, and yeah, something like that. Okay, why? Yep, it should be just like that. Just a standard container. Yeah, and additionally, let's make it a bit more damaged. Obviously, it's gonna show what's inside, but... And speaking of damaged stuff, in this case, I really love to use heavy rust because it looks great on damaged parts. We might continue this rust somewhere. Wait a second. What? No. Yeah, something like that. That's better. Because, yeah, for unwelded parts, it looks magnificent even without mods. So here we might go in a way like that, and do the same exact stuff here, maybe there. Yeah, like that, why not? For this block, I do wanna grind it down even more, like that. Good. On the opposite side, obviously the same stripes. By the way, here should be those stripes also, shouldn't they? Just to have a uniform look, you know. So it should be something like that. No, we used one stripe in the middle. Like this. Come on. Here we go. Something like that. Good. Actually, why not? Why not make those rusty? Yeah, that would be a nice one. And now can I? Yeah, do something like this, because they're too shiny, they're too new and beautiful. I mean, they're not shiny, but still. Right, for that side, can I fit that supply stuff here? I mean, sign. Is it actually possible? Let's try to do something like that. And let's go there. So, SUP PLY. Yeah, it should be possible. So let's actually start from the end, and now we need this one. Oops, wrong direction. Yeah, that should be it. And where these are this color. Yep, something like that. Not too easily visible, but should be okay-ish, you know. Okay, that guy should go here, because we want to make it like that. Now, as for the damage on the blocks themselves, go like that. I'm gonna go like this and like that, and let's add one more line there. Yeah, something like this. And obviously, where is our dead color? Here we go. That should be it. Now for those stripes. In this case, I'm probably gonna use it as in this position on the ends, because obviously we cannot use them inside just because that position is busy already with letters. Yeah, something like that. Something like that should be more or less okay-ish. Now we can just continue the theme here. Maybe add a little bit more of rust. Actually, let's go just like that. All the way through. Yep, should be good. Now, what I really like when I play with these rusty blocks is to kinda continue the rust to structural elements, because that's what typically happens when you have this sort of rust. And as you see, it stop being just rust blocks inside. It's kinda blend in a outer shapes. Here we go, like that, and like this. And like those. It seems just more natural in this case. Now, that guy might be rusty, and those two blocks might be rusty. This guy and that guy also. And let's connect rust there and there. Yep. That how it shall look. And that how it shall work. Okay, these stuff are too shiny to be true. So let's do something like that. And let's actually damage few of those. Why constantly continue? Now for that one, we can go just like that. Nothing too crazy. Here we go like this. And here we might go like that. Okay, that's better. That's better indeed. It does look like a... Does it look like a supply drop missed several years ago? What do you think about these guys? For me, it does. Okay, let's configure these guys. Firstly, you're gonna have one, you're gonna have one, and 100 auto deploy, something like that. Now we need just to drop it as a test. Here you go. Toots, parachutes, kick in. Yep. It's not gonna be easy to find those. Especially considering it's become active just for a few seconds. Alright. Anyways, I'm happy with this result. It looks real good. Now, let's put it... Nope. Right here. Oh, come on. Can you please stop doing that crap for me? Here we go. Tombs. Exactly the way I imagined. And now we are going to the funny ones, don't we? Exactly this guy with engine. But I need to have a short break before we go any further. So let me put our character somewhere. I don't know. You know what? I don't like... Wait. I don't like that. I want it to be just a... because, you know, it's real hard to see something there. So let's patch those holes. And now move these guys. What? Did I... Oh, seriously? And I never... such an idiot. Alright, well... Of course, and that's gonna put the base. Copy operation has failed. Alright, I'm gonna rebuild it later on. Okay, and they really should start doing something like that. Drop container. Supply. Shit. Hate that stuff. You know, that's this moment when you missed keystroke, and instead of pasting stuff, actually copied something else. Here we go. Anyways, it's gonna be like that. That one I'm gonna rebuild on my own later on. But I'll be back in a minute, just as always. Screw ups, we're screw up team. That's fine. That's fine. That's the way it goes. Okie dokie, I'm back and I'm just noticed that my Twitch integration broken. And I see why. Wait a second, let me fix it real quick. What's going on with that stuff? All right. Alrighty. Should be working now. Kintar, if you're still there, could you please try one more time? Because my message is not gonna be shown anyways. And just hope that it will work further there. Alright. Okie dokie. Let's actually... no, we have this copy already. Let's put that thruster in and try to think about automation and other stuff. Of course it's broke. It become broken in the very inappropriate moment. Not this one, that one. We're gonna go in, and now we need a couple of things. First, we need... Do I want to go with sensor or with something else? Yes, sensor should be good, I believe. Sensor should be just fine in this case. And what I want to do also is add a little bit a button somewhere to activate and deactivate it. That stuff, this place looks good for a button. So let's grab some on this panel, and I'm gonna put it just like that in. What this button shall do is to just turn on off on this sensor. Now what the sensor shall do? It shall react on basically everything. This stuff we don't need. Yeah, let's react on everything. And 5 meters all directions. Let's increase to 10. That should be good. The idea is as soon as it gets closer to something, it shall just turn on this engine. So engine turn on. By default, though, engine yeah, let's get on full and something like that. Turn it off. Now, when we put this guy... Whoa. Yeah, of course. Off. And off. Okay, that's better. Something just exploded. As far as I've seen. Or not. No, everything's fine. Ah, that stuff damaged. That's expected. That's expected. Okay, now let's fill this gap and think about color for this guy. I do think that this time I'm gonna go with something more yellow to orange. Yeah, this one, but we're gonna go like that. Yeah, that shall be not that bright. Something like that. And for its texture, sci-fi, no, I don't think so. War-torn, that might be the case. Yeah. Nah, not here. Okay, let's go and do something like this, but I do wanna put something that we can know where it gonna go. And to do this, we might go like shit. Now that stuff off, and we might go sort of like that. Maybe add something like this, and I see we cannot use those decorations, but what we can do actually is let's replace those as standard blocks. I'm gonna explain why in a second, like that. And for these two, we might firstly use this texture, and secondly cover it with something like these guys. And we need that too. Shit. Of course I painted the wrong ones. Does it look like an arrow? It does not, to be honest. It should be more... Nah, I don't like how it looks here. But what we can do actually is probably do something like that. Yep, and the same exact stuff here, like this. For those ones, we can actually continue this shape. That one I'm not gonna, these ones I'm not gonna change. Put an arrow on an LCD and there are signs. Yeah, I know. That's another option. That's another option. And hey Joshua, welcome here. Thanks for joining. I hope you're enjoying this little suffering that we're going through here. Let's try actually LCD panel. Why not? Let's see how big we wanna make it. Something like that might do. So we're gonna go like this. Okay, wait a second. Let me do that, and I'll explain. So for other streams, for my other streams, I use my own mode that firstly transfer messages in chat, and secondly provide viewers with some commands like change time, change weather, and most importantly drop those drops. For now there are only 4 of those, like these ones, and there are different ones. There are help ones, hinder ones, and I call them funny ones because they are from help or from hinder, but added in a little bit more fun. This one, by the way, should be a 1-1. And I just want to increase variety. I just want to increase variety of those blocks. So all of those drops, not blocks. All right. Let's change it to so arrow, add to selection, and it should be something like that. But I kind of want to try. It does. We cannot change its color though. I don't know. I like this approach a bit more than just a screen. So I'm probably gonna go with that approach. Yeah, I can change background, I know, but even if we do that, the arrow will remain green. Okay, let's go, let's say 20 on all of them. That, okay, 20 is too low. Let's go 100, and that shall give us a gray background. Anyways, this arrow is too stand out. Less noticeable than this arrow? I don't think so, to be honest. Okay, let's try to go to the... No, it's definitely gonna be too easy to find, and yeah, let's actually use standard ones. Our previous approach, it was something like less noticeable color of green. I do think that it's just better with this one, because for that kind of drop, but then let's have antenna for drops. It has beacon, it doesn't have an antenna, and this beacon might behave differently. It might turn on for a couple of seconds just to provide us with a way to find it. Not easy way to find it, obviously, but anyways. Let's go like that, like this, and it was somewhere, yeah, each of those was there, so like that, and like this one. Now we need 2 of those, and we need to color it. Okay. This, like that. Wait a second. Aha, we need 2 more of those. However, if we go like that, it's more hammerish than arrow, but you know, that might... Oh, yeah, that does the trick, doesn't it? Yep. Okay. Let's continue that pattern here. I don't know how, I don't know why, but for me it looks like what we're looking for here. Yep. Okie dokie. And now, same exact stuff. Let's configure these things and test it out. For beacon, I just think what this container might be, I mean, in real life, because that supply container is obvious. It's just some resources that somebody might supply to some colony or stuff like that. But this container is kind of different. That's a good one. That's a good question, what it might be. Container with a single engine. That's also kind of supply, but considering its behavior, what it might be. Another thought, they're not going to use this thruster in the box, so why does it really need an arrow? That might be like that, fragile boxes, those marked with arrows to kind of know where it's top, where it's bottom, and if we imagine that these guys shall be stacked like this somewhere, and maybe even more of those. Not exactly. Not exactly. Of course, later on, me and my buddy in streams gonna learn what this arrow means. But for this container, it's not quite indicator, because you see, as soon as it close to the ground or base or blocks or player, it's gonna start moving forward. Which so this arrow basically not gonna help you. The only thing it might help with is to know that there should be a button to turn it off. There should be a button to turn it off. By the way, speaking of which, yeah, this button shall do not only that. Why can't I? Oh, wait a second. I destroyed the sensor inside. Did I? Didn't I? I did. Of course I did. All right, we're going to fix that. So this arrow, and I want to make it visible, needed to kind of provide us a thought that we might want to try to catch it in air and press bloody button to deactivate, or, well, suffer the consequences of this type of drop. And this one probably gonna be Hinder one. So yeah, actually let's rename it. So it's gonna be not blocks, but I mean not blocks container, but blocks help, just to remind me what it shall be. And this one shall be dodgy Hinder. Yep. Okie dokie. Now, for its things. Yeah, speaking of this help, Hinder, and other stuff, typically when you deploy a drop for us, you can select whether it be help, hinder, or random. Random is just system select one of help or hinders and drop them. No. That's fine. That's fine. I'm really glad to explain everything, because I can get that you just get here, see me building some shenanigans, and might be curious. What are you doing, guy? That's fine. That's fine. Okie dokie. So, terms of, yeah, what that might be. If we imagine the situation that some ship gets in a damaged stuff, in a bad situation, let's say, and gets damaged, valuable pieces of it, as this thruster, might be packed into containers and sent somewhere. And this whole logic with thruster activates on contact with something might be just an issue of this sort of packing. So in this case, it might make sense to firstly restore our sensor, obviously. I want to put it on a battery though. Yep, like that. Now you're gonna go off. We're gonna go 10 meters in all directions again. Come on, 10 meters. We don't need that, and we need to activate it on everything. Good. For actions, it shall turn on this guy as soon as it's at needed place. Now let's do something like that. For this button, though, what is... oh, we don't have... Okay, I see. We can't have several of those on buttons. So we need a timer block to group our actions. Because what it shall do... is first things first, turn on off this guy, and second thing, turn on off that guy. That might be an interesting thought. Okay, and now this button shall just trigger now that guy. Okay, okay. Text voxel, it will go off when it lands. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. That wherever it lands on a base, on a surface, or on a ship, any type of ship, it should launch itself. The only thing I'm interested now is how to activate it. All right, well, that stuff are there, and now we need to just change the name on the beacon, which's gonna be, in that case, it was what? This beacon, it was... yeah, it was supply container, and in this case, it's gonna be... actually, not... yeah, we see it's not quite stuff we're looking here. It was the idea to use it like a rack container, but actually, why not? You know, it's pretty funny, and we can do something like that. For example, oopsie daisy, why it's not... did I... what? Where I typed that name? Oh. Alright, whatever. Yeah, it should be like this. Okie dokie. So now... yeah, sure. Those guys should be configured. Should be configured to open. Yeah, I noticed that. Noticed that. Okay, now let's test it, shall we? Drop it from somewhere there, okay. And now I kinda interested what gonna happen if I do that. So yeah, it activates immediately. But we can... I mean, that's fun with players, but what I wanna do is to change our sensor to actually turn it off when it's out, and this will allow me to test it on the surface. Okay, now let's activate it. Come on, here we go. I get out of it, and now it should land and activate the stuff then. But somehow I do think that it's gonna be a bit of a problem, because those parachutes not gonna let it move. Is it active? It is active. I see what's going on. We have not enough power for such a big container, for such a big thruster. That explains, yeah. All right. And of course I put that sensor on it. Okie dokie. We can fit one more battery on its front, can't we? We could, if we move this guy a little bit further. Or we might leave this battery exposed. Why not? Why not indeed? It's actually looks even better, I believe. Okay, one more test. Here we go. Now, come on. Let me jump that bloody stuff. Oh, yep. That's an interesting one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. It definitely should turn off parachutes in this case. Because it went all the way crazy. Nah, that's not the behavior I'm looking for. Definitely. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So let's go to that sensor. Aha, but if we do that on sensor, as soon as it sees a player, okay, let's turn off that stuff for players first, just in case, and then actually shall group those guys, and let's rename it back, shall we? Okay. Actually, we can just call it shoots. Why not? Sensor. Here we go. Groups, shoots. Open, close, closed. Here we go. Shall be more interesting. Come on. Yep, let's drop you like this. Now, oh, come on. Calm down, bloody stuff. My goodness. Here we go, finally. And yeah. Whew. Yep, it destroyed battery from the heat. And the engine destroyed also. Yeah, that's the behavior we're looking for here. That's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a fun one. Okie dokie. I can't wait to see Arthur's reaction on that drop. Okay, so you're gonna go right there. Oops, not there. Oh, and before doing that, I should actually make a blueprint. And no, not replace, but rename. And it should be drop container dodgy. Here we go. Now I can safely do that and ouch. Why can't you? Or that's probably not its problem, it's mostly mine problem. Because I can't aim properly. Oh, here we go. It stands there. Now we're gonna go to the interesting one. To the funny container with gun in it. This one I'm really afraid that I'm gonna over-engineer it. Really afraid that I'm gonna over-engineer it. But I'm gonna do that anyways. Okay, that one might be just a container that somebody drops to kind of protect some space. In this case, it might explain why it's inactive and become active when somebody gets closer. For the mechanic of it, I think firstly we need a big battery in, because I don't think that small battery will do need a trick. And secondly, I'm just thinking about deploying mechanism if we go with this approach. Will it fit with this guy? Nope. I mean, kinda. Kinda fits, but not quite. Okay, what if we go this way? That shall be good. But then we're gonna have question how we do that on sites. We might actually do something crazy here and cover it like that to kind of blend in. Here, though, we shall use one of those. Otherwise, it's going to be caught on this stuff. And here we might go like this. Don't think it's gonna work anyways, but you know, let's try. Actually, that's not a bad angle. That's not a bad angle at all. And we can accomplish it with the same exact stuff on an opposite end. Yep. That might be the case. So let's limit you to something like 40 here and something like 0 here. And for velocity, we're gonna go, I don't know, maybe 10. Let's see. Yeah, that's a nice speed. I like it. Oh, I see. Have a good one. And I hope we'll see you when you can actually test those containers yourself. Dropping them and seeing how it works. Okay, of course we cannot put it there because it's gonna collide with that stuff on the bottom. But we shall be able to do something like that. Of course, it's not gonna fully blend in, but you know, it's good enough. It's good enough. Okay, let's empty this side now. That, put all of those. Make this. There, though, it shouldn't get too close. And we might want to change those ones to something like this. Quiet. Not quiet. Yep, I like this more. Easy. And we cannot put them there, but we can put them here. And now if we rebuild this one, should be good. Yep, something like that. Okay, here we should have one standard line. Okay, something like this. And Twitch didn't... I don't know, maybe it did. Maybe it did. Maybe I'm wrong here. Oops. That wasn't the stuff that I was about to remove. Let's put it back. Okay. Here, though, we need one more of those. Where are they? Yeah, here they are. Okay, and should be a positive one if I'm not mistaken. Nah, it's not a positive one. Seriously? Oh, fuck. Of course I screwed it up and removed not the block that I was about to remove. Okie dokie, so it shall be like that. And it should go up 40 degrees. And we need to put this guy on it and cover it with stuff. Like that. Come on. Like this and like that. Now let's double check that it still works. And we need... wait a second. It should be 0 here. And it should be -10. And now if we reverse it... Yeah, it does work, doesn't it? Here we go. That's a good one. Now, same exact stuff on an opposite end. Like that. This... I just remembered that that's gonna be a huge pain in the ass to actually make it work, because spawning subgrids is not an easy job at all, and that stuff should be here, not there. But it looks like a time to figure out this problem and do it properly. I don't think that it's impossible to do. I do think that it just requires a little bit more effort that I'm willing to pay. Okay, hinge 3, gonna go 40 here. Oops, 40 and 0 and -10 and finally reverse. Here we go. Works like a charm. Okay, now in terms of decorating this stuff, what I think we might do, can we put... We have only one block in between of those, so if we think about lights, the only stuff we can afford is something simple like that. Now let's try though. Yep, closes and opens as a charm. Good. Now for those guys' colors, what we gonna do? We're gonna go corner lights, we're gonna make them red, and I do think that we're gonna make it blinky. like that. But we're obviously gonna turn them on only when this stuff opened. Only when this stuff opened. It would be interesting what's gonna happen if it lays on the side. But I guess we'll find out that later. Okay, now what it shall react on? What it shall react on? It shall react on a player. So we need one of those somewhere here in the middle. And let's say it's gonna react on player at 20 meters all directions. Actually, you know, yeah, 20 is good. 20 is good one. And now what it shall do, only players and detect everybody. Good. What it shall do, it let's actually make a timer to group those actions. And we're gonna call it, actually not deploy, but activate. Activate timer, and what it shall do, it shall shut on all of those. Actually, why on if on off? So that's the first one, and I hope I not mixed that and reverse. Something like that, and this guy shall call it in both cases. In first to activate and in the second to deactivate. Like this. Good. Also it should turn on and off our lights. Where is our timer? Lights on off, lights on off. Good. Now that light should go off. This light should go off. What? It wasn't light, was it? Okay. Off. Off. Good. Now that guy should go on. And which one is that? This one, reverse. Okie dokie, that's closed. For the beacon in this case, I'm gonna call it something like that. Yeah. Now let's fill our parachutes. Configure them. Auto deploy. Yep, that should be it. That should be it. And think about its decoration. By the way, why doesn't react on me getting closer? That's an interesting question. Wait a second, is it? No, it's active. Should react on... well, yeah, that explains. I was just too close. Well, that's too far away, I see. Let's lower it to 10 meters at max. Or maybe even initial 5 were good. We'll see. Let's try 10 first. Yep. That should be good. That should be... It's also harmless. Well, harmless for everybody around, but not itself. As we obviously see already. That's interesting. When we use those guys manually, they need some time to actually start shooting. But when it auto deploys, it's not that. Wait a second, I have a crazy idea. Wait one bloody second. Why can't we just make it with brackets here? All the way like that. That's an interesting one. So if we remove these ones and that one, and now go something like that. Okay, let me actually bring it out first. Hinge, reverse. But you sensor off. Now hinge 4. Reverse. What's wrong with you? Why don't wanna reverse? What's going on here? Okay, let's try with this one. Maybe I broke something. Battery, no, hinge 3. Yep, this one works. What's wrong with that one? Oh, it's off. That explains. Alright, so it's now in this position. What if we do something like that? Something like this. Aha, and if I cover it like that now, yeah, well, it's not gonna work as expected. But what might work actually is something like... What are you doing, bloody stuff? You wanna say that it's open too far or what? Okie dokie. It actually works, you know, which is a huge surprise, but still. Alright, so what we gonna do? We're gonna continue the same exact approach here. And put it like that. And now, where is that hinge? Come on. Reverse. Oops. It's caught here. On what? Doesn't seem that I know on what it caught here. Alright. Well, what if we're gonna change this approach, and we're gonna change it in a way like that, and obviously like this. Now we can replace that guy with one of those. Okie dokie. That shall solve this little problem for us. Shouldn't it? Okay. Like that. And like this. Seems a bit messy, but shall do the trick. All right, let's try that one more time. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better indeed. Okay. Let's fix the same exact stuff there. Come on. That like this. Ouch. Like that and like this. Okie dokie. Here we go. Oh, that's a beautiful one. And yep, 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 yep. Now let's try and test it out one more time. I want to try something like that. Key. And now if I get too close... Ah, yeah, it's... Ah, shit. It has turned off that guy. But what I just... beacon. Now off. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to do something like that. And we need now to copy it. Yeah. Of course you're gonna start doing that crap. And it does that crap here. There also. Because it should be in an opposite position when we started. Okay. So what we gonna do in this case? Good. Now copy it. Put it somewhere there. I don't think that this guy harmful enough to add a button or trigger to turn it off. It doesn't seem to be harmful enough. Or what do you guys think? Should I add a button or stuff like that to turn it off, or it's fine like it is right now? Because for me it seems fine. It's not that harmful. Okay, let's try grind it down. So I'm getting here and it actually starts doing its stuff. 10 meters looks good in terms of everything, basically. Oh, ouch! Well, in some cases it's not that easy, and the only stuff we need to do here is actually turn off battery. And here we go, everything off, and we can scrap it completely. Yeah, that works, that should be good. Now, how can I get close enough to turn it off? Turn it at least this way. Sensor off, and here we go. Should be like that. Now, do we have any damage here? Nah, doesn't seem so. Alright, I'm gonna have a short break and then we'll think about outer decoration for this block, because for this drop, because currently it's functional, but it's quite ugly. So yeah, that's gonna be the next stuff to do. For now, I wanna put our character somewhere here, hide everything, and be back in a minute. Okie dokie, I'm back. So, considering this guy is... Considering this guy is definitely military stuff. Of course. Yeah, we might use digital camouflage here. Where it is? I rarely use this skin, but in that woodland, no. We're looking for something else. Yeah, something like this. And we need to replace this color. Oof. These guys shouldn't be in different color, obviously. But that one's... Yeah, something like that. Now, let's remove the replace color and make it dusty here. Something like this should be good. Because these blocks looks weird in camo. As weird as they can. Key. How we can provide it? A little bit. It's actually... You know, I think it's fine in this shape and that color. It doesn't seem too bad. So what I'm gonna do is a blueprint. Our name is gonna be container military. Why not? Here we go, and now we're gonna go and grab it and put it there. But first we need obviously to remove all these shenanigans. We get a little bit different way, but that's fine. That should be totally fine. Align it please for me. And now let's put it, come on, something like that. Toots. Great. Okie dokie. And now the most dangerous one. For these ones, no, I don't want to put it here. I do want to put it right there. For this one, we're gonna put everything in. We don't need a huge battery, though. Key. Where are that stuff? We're gonna put it right in the middle. Accomplish with 2 barrels, like that and like these. And of course, we need a sensor and we need a timer block. Or we can configure the warhead itself. So we definitely need a battery. Though we're gonna put it like this, and we're gonna put a sensor on it. Like that. Okie dokie. Now, warhead. 10 seconds should be good enough, I believe. So what this guy shall do? 5 meters. Yeah, 5 meters is good. Set of actions. Wait a second, first turn you off. And then set of actions. We're gonna go and firstly arm warhead. And secondly, start countdown. Like that. It should react only on players again, and it shouldn't make any sounds, because for sounds we're gonna have separate block this one. Media player, no, I don't think so. I think just standard block gonna be okay-ish. Okay, and now sound block. We need to select alert. Let's try. Nope. Nope. Yeah, that should be it. And considering we configured that guy in 10 seconds, we shall do the same stuff here. Gonna go 10 seconds. Yep, that shall be good. Why we need that 10-second delay? Because it should allow our player to actually deactivate it. Now I wanna have the same button to activate it first. What it shall do, it shall just turn on off this sensor. Okay, with sensor active, it should do everything else. Okie dokie. Shall be more or less it. We'll see how it actually explodes in a second. But now I want to cover it like this. And we need some signs. We shall have, yeah, something like these signs. But where we wanna put it? It's 2x3. Okay, let's try to do just something like this and put it in here and put it in here. Yeah, why not? That's not the position where I want to see it, so we're gonna just put a few blocks there, and now it should be possible to put this sign. Here we go, like that. Also, it's obviously should be colored in right way, and saying right way in this case, I mean something like that, probably. Yep, and we might color these guys something like this. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Of course, it's not gonna be right there. Actually, you know, that's not a big deal. Yeah, that's okay-ish. That's okay-ish. Now let's just repeat that pattern on the bottom. Something like that. Okay. And that's just an explosive container. Yeah, it looks dangerous enough, I believe. It looks dangerous enough, and it's not gonna be that easy to save it. Okay, what this container might be? It might be the drop for miners. Why not? Why not, indeed? So for beacon, we're gonna say something like clear the area. Yep, And parachutes should be auto-deploy at 200 meters. And we need to supply it with chutes themselves. Okay, now. No. Let's test how it's gonna work. To do this, we need to activate that bloody button. And now, if we get close enough, nothing happens. Interesting. Wait a second. Oh, here we go. Now it happened. But oh, I see where I was wrong. I forgot to tune that. I forgot to turn on our sound block. So we're gonna go play. And by the way, for sound block, I wanna range. Yeah, 50 meters should be good. Let's try one more time. Here we go. Now, if I activate that stuff, it doesn't make sound yet. Why? Oh, here we go. Clear the air, it says, and explosion. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. The only thing I wanna test is it enough time to actually do something? And 5 meters sounds like a good thing, considering we need to. Okay. Come on. Whew. Just in time. All right. That's a good one. If you know what to do, you actually can disarm it. Okay, that works. Okay. Let's make it container. Explosive. Good. Let's empty space for it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Don't need that. This container should go somewhere here. Here we go. Good. That's a good one. Oh, I managed to shut my sign. What? Okie dokie. So we have this set of containers. Not the full set, obviously, because I managed to screw up this first one, but I'll rebuild it offline. That's not a big deal. Now, for Rex. For Rex, it's gonna be a little bit more interesting. Because let me actually observe what ships I have here. Do we have any filters? Doesn't seem so. All right, well, that's large grids. That's wet loader. Doesn't interesting. Battle drone. Nope. I'm just thinking about something that we can use for Rex. Draka Jet. What is that guy? contain some blocks that are not available in this world. Alright, let's see anyways. Yeah, why not tear apart this guy? Actually make some drops from it. Toots. It has few guns on its front, which is good stuff. Few guns on the sides. Looks like it has some damaged blocks there. And some missing blocks here. We gonna fix that. That's not a big deal. Let's fix this ship first. And this one is 3x3. But we need just 2x2. So something like that should be good. Something like this should be good also. Now, what are these things? Looks like nothing. It's just the way it goes. All right. This one, by the way, is 3x3, so we might do something like this. Okay. Now it has a bit more thrusters here, and I do think that this stuff is for blocks like that, while that stuff is for those. Okie dokie. That makes sense, actually. Let's remove... Oops. What was that? No, that wasn't a parachute, so that's fine. Let's add hydrogen thrusters here. And I want to replace those with these beautiful new ones. It should be in this color. Like that. And same exact stuff there. Same exact stuff here. Something like that. Why not? Why not indeed? Now to move side to side, it might use something like that. Yep. And something like this. Good. Now, I do think... No, we shouldn't put anything there. It kinda misses some blocks that shall be pointed down. Oh, and it has even turret on the bottom. That's interesting one. Never noticed that. Okay. It has just a little bit of thrust side to side, which is actually fine for a ship like this. And but it shall have some thrust pointed down. Let's try to do something like that and see where those thrusters might be there. Toots, obviously. Okay, these things looks like they shall contain thrusters. So let's put those, shall we? That stuff has some cameras in it. Like that. Should be good enough. Now for this position... Nah, I don't think that it needs something else there. For here, though, we might go with some approach like that. provided a little bit of side-to-side armor thrust. Yep. Here we go. I think that should be enough. Let's paste it back in the correct direction. Oh, and now it can fly. Why can't you move? I see. It has too few thrust. Too few gyros. Okie dokie. Anyways, we're gonna use it as pieces. So yeah. Okay. For safe wreck, I think it's gonna be nice to cut this portion of vehicle, because that's where all the cargo shall be. Oh, and it has two cockpits side to side. Interesting. Okie dokie. So how are we gonna do that? It should be simple enough. I'm gonna go like this. We're gonna go like that. All the batteries gonna get out. Come on. Like that. That stuff can be just removed like this. Here we go. That stuff get out. Now, I wanna kinda left a little bit of these wings. So maybe something like that. Yeah, that should be not bad. Not bad at all. This guy is gonna go away. Yeah. On this side, I wanna left it as that. This stuff gets out. Come on. Yep. Here we go. That stuff shall go away. I turned off weather game. What's wrong with you? Alright, anyways. Sorry for that noise, guys. Okay, now it's unpowered. And let's see what we have inside. We have a few containers and we have a bunch of thrusters. Where is control panel? Where might be control panel accessible here? Okay. Right. Well, I suppose I shall spawn new one. Alright, let's see. We have two cameras, we have tanks, we have a bunch of thrusters, projector, and even one parachute hatch, which is great stuff, because it's gonna be like that. And we have antenna. A lot of good stuff here, you know? A lot of good stuff here. The only thing I wanna kinda fix is damage those guys. I can't see that it actually damaged those. Oh yeah, that's this guy definitely damaged. Okie dokie. This one, though, doesn't look to be too damaged. And at the end it explodes. That explains, alright. Okay. And also... we don't have any hydrogen thrusters here, which is not great. So let's put few like that and like this. And I'm gonna put them only for the sake of damaging them, because they look beautiful when damaged. Good. One of them are damaged. Come on, here we go. Yeah, that should be a nice one. That should be a nice one. Now, all atmospheric thrusters, and as well as this one, should be off, because we don't want to do something crazy. And also because we need a battery to actually activate our parachute. Okay. Let's try to drop it and see how it looks. Here we go. Parachute up. But it definitely have not enough stopping power to stop it from a crash land. Here we go. It's crashed. You know, that's not a bad stuff, to be honest. That's not a bad stuff at all. That it crashes instead of landing. And it has a lot of goodies in it. So what I really want to do now is rename that beacon or antenna, wherever it is. It should be beacon, probably. Yeah, and I want to rename it to... It should be Dakar Cargo, like that. And later on, before deploy, my script will fill these containers with some goodies, which is gonna be great. Okay, let's blueprint it, and it's gonna be named as Drop Wreck Cargo. Good one. It goes right here, like that. I'm not gonna put it instead of this stuff. I'm gonna just remove this, like that. Good. Sorry, folks. If I want to speak further, I need actually to have a sip time to time. Okay. Let's grab a copy of it and make a second one. And for the second one, I kinda wanna grab this front part with the weapons. So, how are we gonna split it? I think we're gonna left a little bit of wing here. Something like that. Now, we're gonna left one of these cockpits. And for this position, yeah, let's remove 2 of those because they are not needed. Yep, that's better. That's gonna go away. It has 2 nice cut here, so let's make it a bit less uniform. Something like this. And just curious, can I provide a lot of damage in one shot? Yeah, that's definitely the stuff we're looking for here. Except we don't have a bottom turret anymore. Let's take a look at what's left. Control. What? Control panel. Okay. We have a bit of assault cannons, cockpit, and nothing else really. But few pieces of ammo. That's not bad. That's not bad. Also, I do think that I wanna damage something. Or, wait a second. Or, I might wanna put that turret back. But damage it. Okay. So where is our turret? We need our Gatling turret here, and it was... Which turret it was? I see which turret it was. Come on, came here. Okay, that should be this one. Good. Why it cannot be put there? Because we need a little bit more conveyors. Alrighty, and those should be small ones. Good. Like that should be okay. And now let's go back there and put one of those. The only thing we shall grab the real color of it. Yep, something like that. Put it back. But of course, it's not gonna be in this beautiful view. What's about almost? Here we go. That's the look I'm looking for here. And now let's turn it back in a correct position. And we need to spawn a chute there. Because without chute, it's not gonna be landing nicely. So... where might be the nice position for chute in this case? Probably somewhere there. Why not? And let's configure it. Should be auto deploy. It should be 200 meters. And we need a battery. Here we go. Also... Nah, we don't need any antenna or beacon in this case, do we? Let's just give it a try. Go, and where you try to fly, and why you try to fly? It probably was my bad, I pasted badly. Okay. Yeah, it was my bad. However, it's real heavy. And by the look of it, if we wanna... It's fine, you know, it survived this stuff fine. These turrets are damaged, obviously, but... That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And this drop contains a lot of beautiful stuff anyway, so why should I bother? Okay, this guy gonna be drop wreck weapons. Why not? Okay, we're gonna grab it and paste somewhere. They're too close, don't they? Alright, whatever. That's the second one. Good. Now, before we move any further, I traditionally wanna have a bit of a rest. There is only 1 hour of this stream left. I hope we'll be good to actually finish that stuff and produce more X for us. Anyways, folks, I'll be back in just a sec. Actually, I can't fly. I can continue flying. The only stuff, oopsie daisy, I wanna do is to scroll time a little bit to light it up nicely. Probably like that. Yeah. And I'll be back in a sec. Okie, I'm back. So, what we gonna do? We're gonna produce 2 more wrecks, and this time those shall be funny. And first things first, I think we're gonna play with its tail. Because it has a lot of thrusters, and we can utilize it. And I don't wanna get a full tail, of course. I wanna have only one of those pylons. So let's cut it loose somewhere here. Something like that. I think we actually should left a battery, at least. Here we go. 1 pylon to go. Do we need any of these? I don't think so. We're gonna left it like that. 1 pylon with a bunch of stuff here. Now, I kind of want to damage this pylon a little bit. And saying a little bit, I mean... let's try to shot it somewhere right here. Okay. Yep, that's exactly the damage that I wanted to see. There. Okay. Now, it had something inside, but it doesn't have it anymore, obviously. Then I wanna make this guy smoky. Yep. Come on. Seriously. It's smoking everywhere, but not at the moment, at the place where I wanted it to smoke. Here we go. One of them smoking. Now the second one. Come on. Here we go. And for these ones, I do think that I'm gonna damage only one of them. The top one. Yep. Here we go. Smoking there, smoking here. Nice. It doesn't have any batteries on it though. So what we might do instead, not instead, but additionally, is to put a battery somewhere right here, like that. Good. Now we need to turn off everything, and we can do that through this access point. All the thrusters are gonna go off to not waste this precious stuff. And for chutes, I think we're gonna put them in... in where? In where we wanna put them? Okay, first off, chutes might go there, but the second one should be somewhere on the front. Maybe we can replace one of these wheels with chute. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Now let's fill them. 1 and 2. And configure them properly. Should auto deploy on 200 meters. Now, speaking of fun stuff. Speaking on fun stuff, I wanna one of these thrusters become... It's interesting. Do we have... no, we don't have any actions on our parachutes. But what we can do is to put one of those right there and configure it in a way. Okay, let's call it main, because we're gonna activate it. And by the way, for this main thruster, we're gonna do thrust override full. Yep. And now event controller, what it gonna do? It gonna see at not altitude, but also grid speed or something like that. Where was that stuff? Block door grid speed change. Yeah, and it should be equal or less than 1 meter. And in this case, it shall grab that main thruster and make it on. The idea is that as soon as this guy gets on a surface, it should activate this thruster. Let's see how it looks though. Yep. And okay, thruster active, but nothing really happens. I see. It might have not enough power because we have only small battery. Alright, let's fix that. Let's fix that. Can we fit a bigger battery somewhere inside? Doesn't seem so, to be honest. We can actually just fill it with small ones. Come on. Yeah, something like that might do the trick. And also, I do think that we need more of those. So, what am I gonna do? That's not the thruster we're looking for here. Let's take a look again. That's a forward one, backward one, and backward one. So let's grab 2 of those and make them back thrust group, thrust override full. And now where is our event controller? Here it is. Not this one, but the whole group. Toggle on. Okay, one more test. I wanna this stuff slightly sliding on a surface. As soon as it stops. Yeah, it will slide, but chutes shall be off. Okie dokie. Let's fix that. Trial and error. The way we do here. Okie dokie. Event controller, select action, and here chutes should be closed. One more test. Good. Lens. Just like that, shoots off and it's sliding. Yeah, that's the one, that's the one. And the thing is that as soon as you try to grind it, it might be a fun way to do, because firstly it wanna move, and secondly, if you grind down something heavy that actually keep it in place, it might start going around. Okay, so to actually move it to the correct position, we need firstly to turn this guy off, secondly make a blueprint and not replace battery name. It should be drop wreck running. That's how we're gonna name it. Okay, let's put it here. Nice. Now, with this one, now we need one more funny drop, and how we can approach that. I think we might use gyros. Or gyros was already in use. So what else might we do in terms of fun? It would be real interesting to make it a way that some piece of the ship drops, and as soon as you approach it to grind down to kind of wreck it, it will spawn a drone. But it's a bloody complex logic that shall be covered with the script, so I don't think that we're gonna go this way. Okay, anyways, let's make another copy, and well, it seems like I see no better option than play with gyros for a little bit. Key, which part of the ship contains gyros? Kinda this one. So what we might do is to kinda remove this part, remove that part, and left only this one, maybe with a part of one of wings. Okay, let's remove everything here. Good. That stuff shall go away. Now, we don't need this wing, and I think we're gonna stripe it something like that to make it a little bit more chaotic. Here we go. Don't need that one. Now, for these ones, I think we're gonna go this approach. It has obviously some cargo space, cargo inside. What is cargo though? Aha, some ammo. That's not bad, you know, that's not bad at all. Now for these guys. Okay, this wing I wanna kinda split like that. Here we go. We don't need that, we don't need this. And we shall have a bunch of cargoes there. For those thrusters, though, what I wanna do is to damage them. So, where is my trusty weapon? Good. For that one, though, I wanna just grind it to something like this position, something like that position. Now, those side ones, probably wanna remove this and that, because that's gonna be too much of a goodies in one ship. And these ones should be just damaged. Here we go. Good. Now, let's put it in a correct position again and take a look what do we have inside. We have a bunch of gyros. Those should be turned off. And let's go override control and do something like that, probably. So, oh, we have 2 more of those here. Yes. Ah, shoot. Those was damaged ones. Okay, never mind. Now, for these guys, though, I wanna do what? Probably grind them down, so there is even no metal grids. In this one, though, we can left some metal grids, just in case. Okay, now, do we have any chutes here? Nope, we don't have any chutes here, which means we're gonna put a few. So one of them might either go somewhere here. Why not? And the second one we might put right here. Let's fill them. Now, we need obviously a sensor. And this sensor, I think, we might put somewhere there. Come on. Sensor, where you are? Here you go. Key. Sensor. In this case, I think 5 gonna be fine. We're gonna turn it off. We're gonna stop it from making sound. And yeah, I need to firstly group all gyros. Gyros. Here we go. And chutes. Here we go. Let's get back to this guy, and what it's gonna do, it's gonna turn on our these guys and turn and close those ones. Here it should go off like that. Shall be good. Yeah, I need to configure our chutes. Also, they should auto deploy at 200 meters. Let's test it, shall we? Toots. Not too stable. They can say that our chutes does perfect job, but when we get closer, okay, it doesn't seem like 5 meters enough, or we just don't have battery here. That might be the case also. Ah, no, it's just turned off. Just bloody magnificent. Okay, what if we turn it on and get closer? It starts, but kinda vaguely. Okay. Let's turn this guy off. Like that, and fix our gyros, shall we? So we're gonna go all the way here, all the way there, and all the way there. Yeah, let's leave it like this. Now, what if we turn you on? Here we go. Woof. That's the way we looked. Okie dokie. I'm happy with this result, so let's configure them here in the right way, like that. And now that's our drop, which the next funny one should be somewhere here. Let's make a blueprint. And this one gonna be drop rack spinny, like that. Okie dokie. Now the only stuff left is to make that dangerous one. And for that dangerous one, I think it's gonna be nice to reuse the front cabin. Or even I don't think that I need to do that from that stuff. I think I need to do that from this one. Because first we gonna blow it up. And to do this, I wanna put wait a second, let me put you in a position like this. Yep, I wanna put our explosives. No, the small one. I can't reach it, or what? Yep, I cannot reach it. Okay. The idea is to put it somewhere in the middle of that turret and these guys, because in that case it will detonate all of them. But in this case it shall be done from the top. All right, well, it's good to know. Yeah, that one looks like a nice position for it. So we're gonna put it right there, like this, and cover with this stuff. So let's grab this color and do something like that to kind of hide it. Nice. And now we need to find the right place for sensor, which we are prepared already. Like that. Now I'm gonna increase this to at least 8 meters. That's gonna be a big explosion, you know? That shall be a big one. 8 meters in all directions, no proximity alerts. And now what I wanna do, I wanna put a button somewhere here on the front, probably, to deactivate it, because I wanna activate it when. So that stuff should be off on this button. Actually, not just off, but on off. Yeah, on off, like that. Then I wanna have one of those which will activate all that bullshittery as soon as our speed drops again. So what it shall do, it shall react on grid speed change less than equal, let's say even 0.1 meters per second. And what it shall do, it shall firstly arm warhead, and secondly turn on this guy. That should be good. Now what this guy shall do, it shall start our warhead countdown. Start countdown. Do we need any sound block here? You know, I think it's gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be funny. So let's find our sound block. But in this case, I wanna use something else. Mystery, space, heavy fight, danger music. That's interesting. How this will sound. Nah, that's not what we're looking for. Planet, alien, fun music. Yep. Yep. We gonna do that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be it. And that's gonna go play. Let's try that, shall we? So it drops from there. Looks like a drop. Toots. Okie dokie. Hopefully... Yeah, it does survive. Reaching this button wouldn't be an easy way. Okay. Yeah, that was a nice explosion, but where is my sound? You bloody stuff. Okay. That's unfortunate. Let's see one more time. So when we get there, it shall... Oh, wait a second. That's not the stuff we're looking for. Wait. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, dokie. So, one more time. Setup actions. You should start countdown and turn on this sound block. You have a battery, everything's fine. Why, in this case, you did not done this stuff? It's bloody heavy, so maybe I wanna put more... So maybe I wanna put more chutes. How much chutes we have currently? Only one. Sorry. Let's put two more just to make it a bit more steady. Because I don't like that it gets so much damage landing. It's fine for standard block, but it's not fine for this one. I mean, for that hell block, it's fine because it kind of reduces the award. But in this case, I do think that we shall go like that. Let's check that everything's good, and it is. All right, now where was my music? That's the question. All right, not like this, but like that. One more test. Okie dokie, 3 parachutes. Good. Now it lands nice and slow. And it shouldn't suffer that much damage. Okay, let me take a look at its... I cannot see it yet. Okay. Is it... where is my weapon? Yeah, it is on. So what if I get closer? Where is my music, you bloody stuff? I know you gotta explode, but where is my music? What the heck? I can't get that. Okay, what if I... It works. It works just fine. Something wrong here. We have only one sound block and we have only one instruction. Play. Why doesn't it place? Interesting. It shouldn't be damaged there. It should be totally fine. But it doesn't play. All right. Oops. I shouldn't do that. Oops, and now I should turn this guy off. Oof. Okay, let's copy it and test one more time. But this time I wanna try to deactivate it before it lands, because that's the only way to deactivate it. Come on. Shit. Well, that's not an easy job at all, what I can say. Key. What if I try to do it? Oh, here we go. Okay, it's deactivated, but it's not gonna help us. Here we go. Good one. Music worked. Everything worked. The only thing I wanna check right now is that this guy shall actually not turn off sensor, but rather turn off event controller. Yeah. Because if sensor is active, we can do nothing about it anymore, because it's gonna do everything. All right, the last piece is here, so, and of course it's gonna activate the sensor, doesn't it? The second way to disarm it, of course, is to turn off, to shut down this sensor, but I'm not gonna cover it just to not be menace. Yeah. All right, let's get rid of that abomination. Let's get rid of this guy. We don't need it anymore. Well. What we accomplished today, we produced something like 10 more drops. Now, offline, I'm gonna do all the boring stuff, and saying boring stuff, I mean convert it from blueprints to prefabs, put it into my mode, test everything that it actually spawns correctly, activates correctly, and do other stuff like that. And next time, during next stream, which is gonna be on Saturday, we're gonna test all that beauty on me and Arthur. And on Sunday, we're gonna test it on me, Arthur, Cliff, and probably Kintaro, if he joins us. That would be nice. That would be interesting. I can't wait to see reaction, my friends' reaction on this stuff. They might obviously cheat a little bit and look this and watch this stream or VOD later to kind of know what I prepared for them. But that's the whole idea, to make them not that easy to counteract all these options, all these variants that we have. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for all your attention, support, and stuff like that. And subscribe to not miss the next streams where we're gonna test that stuff. And play and scrap in general, because we are scrap team, you know. That's it for today. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.